I owe you guys an explanation. So started with a KLR 650. Ever since the KLR 650 was kind of a gateway bike into dual sporting, I wanted something lighter. Technically, I got a KLX 650C, but ended up hating that bike since I had loads of issues with it. I'm not really going to go into detail. It's not really a bike that's sold anymore. Then after that KLX 650, I had a DRZ 400. I had that bike for a couple years. I loved that bike. That bike is one of my dearest bikes. You'll find that, yeah, I loved that bike with a passion. That bike was awesome. Then after the DRZ, well, while I had the DRZ, I had an Africa Twin for a bit too. 2017 Africa Twin. That bike was awesome as well. It really reminded me of the Tenere 700. Such a beast of a machine and so good off-road too, especially if you had a little bit of experience. But my God, man, that thing was awesome. And then after that, I sold both of those. I had an FJ09 for a little bit, but that's a street bike. That doesn't count. And then I got the WR, my 2008 WR250R. Had that thing for a long time. Always wanted something with more power that was, you know, like similar weight, still street legal. And by the way, I can't buy a dirt bike in Wisconsin and plate it. Wisconsin is very strict about that kind of stuff. Got probably 5 or 6 years, the WR. Great little bike. Wish I had more power a little bit, at least. Like even something along the lines of like the DRZ 400. Like this blows the DRZ 400 out of the water with the ECU. Like there's no comparison. But yeah, so I got the WR, then I moved to the city and got the Tenere 700. Sold the Tenere. I had a few dirt bikes in between here and there too. I had a 2008 YZ250F, and then I also had a 2017 KTM 250 SXF. Both of those were good bikes, but they were both MX bikes. They kind of just fell into my lap, like really cheap. And the KTM, it was actually a flip deal for me. Yeah, I kind of just got the bike to flip it. I got it for super, super cheap. Then I had a DR650 for a little bit too. But yeah, so and some of these bikes I had at the same time. Out of all of the bikes that I've owned, the DRZ 400 and the WR250R are my favorite bikes I've ever owned. I love the Tenere for what it is, but it just doesn't suit my riding style that much. The one thing I will say about the Tenere is that it is the bike that has fit me the best for my size. I'm 6'7". So yeah, that's my explanation, guys.